All right, this time for some lady tips. So for lady styling, I would recommend first to focus on your hips a lot. So when you do that basic step, so you want to make sure this part is very mobile. So because if steps without hip will be just a little bit boring, so we want to add that free flow of the hip. So I'm preparing my hip on the one of the sides, and then when I do the step, I kind of swing my hip to that leg. Then within another step, I swing the hip and I swing the hip here. So this is the key point, because if your hip is not there, it will be kind of hard to do this hip kick when you do that tap. Because a lot of people, they do mistake, a lot of women, they go with the hip, then they kind of delay here, and then it's double action. It's kind of hard to do the hip then. So you have to swing every single step your hip. And then when you do that tap, you can have free action here. And you can just exercise, release, go, release. And don't forget, once you tap, you release, because for the next step, you need again the change, right? So again, the number 2 mistake, people do the hip and stuck there. So you have to swing the hip and release straight away. So let's do one more time, just a little bit faster, you will see. So go 1, 2, 3, boom, bam. So you're right away already there, kind of, you see? So it's go bam, bam. So you don't stop in here, because especially if you have experience with some other dances like Rumba and Cha-cha, for example, sometimes you might delay the hip. So don't do any delay. So you go swing and release right away, right? And also another secret, you have to slightly soft your knees, and my body is a little bit, so my tummy is in. So like imagine you playing, I don't know, volleyball. So you have a little bit, the butt is a little bit in the behind. So like this, your swing will be more obvious, and it will be coming from your tummy area. So it's more like your center is in and your hips just change in there within your back. So it's not in the front like this, right? So you tuck your tummy in, and like this, it helps you to release that kind of tail part, right? Like a pendulum in the back. So basically, when I do that type of action, I'm focusing more like on pulling my stomach in, leaning slightly forward. Like this, I really isolate that pendulum. So you can just exercise that area there. So it's very important. And just in general, if you want to look like for cool hip actions, you don't want to be like back weighted, and you don't want your stomach forward. You want to always tuck it in and do it. You will feel like you're doing it slightly leaning forward. So it's the right kind of feeling. So just the only thing you have to worry is just your posture. Don't go like this, right? So you keep your chest open and swing your hips in that back area. So your back will have a support here. So let's do one more time the basic step. So you create that position, right position, with the core active and that back muscles ready to move the pelvis, and you go 1, 2, 3, boom, bam. 1, 2, 3, hip release. You see, every single time after hip, I release. 1, 2, 3, hip release. 1, 2, 3, hip release, and 1, 2, 3, hip release. 1. So you see that like this, you will create that cool hip action, because you do kick and release. That's very important. All right, let's recap one more time. First thing, you need to make your hips mobile and move them within every step. Second, once you do tapping, you release and return your hip to the previous position right away. And the third tip is the body positioning. So if you a little bit kind of lean slightly forward over your foot, and like this, you will activate your belly and feel your back is also, the whole core area is active. Like this, you will feel more mobility and flexibility in that hip area. And it will also look more feminine a little bit, because I mean, you will have a curve in the back. It's going to be cool. All right, guys, thank you very much.